Hello there, everybody! I'm Mr. Game & Pie, and this is Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Part 1. Okay, so for this file, I'll be playing as Tails. Now then, this game takes place right after Sonic 2. If I had played as Sonic or Sonic and Tails, you would have seen a little cutscene of Tails flying the tornado with Sonic on the top. And Sonic would have gone super form, he would have gone onto the island, Knuckles would have come out of the ground, punched the Chaos Emeralds out of him, taken the Chaos Emeralds, and then run away. And so that sets up the idea. Knuckles is our opponent here, he's stolen our Chaos Emeralds, and we gotta save the day. Now, the reason why it follows Sonic 2. At the end of Sonic 2, as you would have seen, we destroyed the Death Egg. And basically, the Death Egg crashed here on this island. And so now, here we are. This is the Chaos Emerald minigame of the game. Basically, you find these giant rings throughout the levels. There is no set number, each level has a different amount of giant rings. And you go around here. You have to collect all the blue spheres without touching a single red one. Whenever you circle a ring of blue spheres, like I've been doing, they turn into rings. Rings are not necessary to collect in the Chaos Emerald minigames, though. They simply give you points at the end. I believe it's 10 or 100 points for every ring. Now, if you get all the rings in the level, you get an extra 50,000 points, which is enough for an extra life. You also get continues if you get perfects. And continues, basically, if you run out of all your lives, it'll give you an extra 3 lives. Very useful. I probably won't be using any continues, but it's nice to have. As you can see there, it says perfect because I got all the rings. Once you collect all the blue spheres, you get a Chaos Emerald. I'll be getting all the Chaos Emeralds. All 7 of them in this game. Alright, so I guess a good thing to explain, real quick, is the difference between the different ways of play. There are 3 different ways of play. Sonic with Tails, Sonic alone, and Tails alone. Basically, Sonic is faster, he can jump a little bit higher. If you do a double jump, he will have what I like to call an air shield. Basically, a little flash of white will go around him. It'll expand the distance of his jump. And oh, real quick, look at the background here. Very nice little ocean side view. Remember this background; it'll be important later. Now then, like I was saying with Sonic's controls, his double jump is what I call the air shield. Makes him invincible, extends his jump size and stuff. Very useful for attacking certain enemies. He can also... There are 3 different elemental shields in this game. I'll be getting more into what they do later, but he can have special double jumps with them. As for Tails, his primary draw is that he can fly. Very good for beginners. Also, he's shorter. If I was playing as Sonic and I was under this spike, I would be dead. See, Tails can get to places that Sonic can't because he can fly, like those rings up there. Now, if you're playing with Sonic and Tails, a second player can come in and control Tails. That version of Tails is actually completely invincible. And if you're flying and Sonic jumps at the second player Tails, the second player Tails will be able to carry Sonic around. Tails can't fly forever, and he will get tired eventually. However, his flight can still be very useful, and I would recommend him for beginners. Because, beyond anything else, the primary draw for playing as Sonic is the fact that once you get all the Chaos Emeralds, you can play as Super Sonic. Tails does not have a super form. Once you get all the Chaos Emeralds, he calls what I call one-up Tails, and I'll explain that later, whenever we actually have all the Chaos Emeralds. And that's just a nickname that I come up with. That's not like something that a bunch of people do, as far as I know. So anyway, here we have the second Chaos Emerald minigame. I really like the Chaos Emerald minigames in this game, despite the fact that it's still the same goal in all the minigames. It's a lot of fun. They came up with a lot of different things to do, and they actually came up with a lot more than what you'll be seeing throughout this Let's Play. Not only is this Chaos Emerald minigame type found in the next game, Sonic and Knuckles, but there's also this huge sub-game called Blue Sphere, which is just this game. basically the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, the original one. What you would be able to do is you would take another Sega Genesis cartridge and put it on the top. And that's how you would play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, by putting Sonic 3 on Sonic and Knuckles and then putting it in. You could also play as Knuckles in Sonic 2 by doing this. However, if you put Sonic 1 on the game, it would allow you to play Blue Sphere, which is basically just a ton of these mini-games. I mean, it's like, apparently it's been calculated that even if you were playing those mini-games throughout your entire life, you still wouldn't be able to beat them all. That's just how many mini-games that they have. And they're not easy. I've played them before. Those mini-games are hard. Okay. Now, there are a lot of multiple paths in this game. I'm going to be taking some of my favorites, of course. That's just how I play the game. However, do play the game for yourself, because you can pretty much play this game like at least 6 different times, while pretty much being an entirely different game. This is our first mini-boss. It's not hard at all, really. And this is a sign. You are able to jump at the sign to make it move around, and if it lands at certain areas, various boxes will come up out of the ground. In this case, I get a water shield out of it, which is very useful for this next area. Alright, so the elemental shields. You've seen them all at this point, but I guess I need to explain them. The fire shield makes you immune to fire attacks. If you're playing as Sonic, your double jump will launch you forward. If you go into the water with the fire shield, it'll disappear. There's also the electric shield. It'll make you immune to electric attacks. It'll also magnetize rings to you, which can be very fun and useful. And, let's see here, it also disappears if you touch the water. However, it'll also create an electrical flash that will kill all the enemies on the screen. And then, there's the water shield, or maybe that's the bubble. Oh, wait, the electric shield. One last thing about it. Sonic's double jump with it is an actual double jump. You bounce upward. Okay, so the water shield, the last one. It will allow you to breathe underwater infinitely. And, it's the only one that can actually be brought into water. It can deflect a couple different types of shots, but the types of shots it can deflect are deflected by all the shields anyway. So, for defensive purposes, the bubble shield is probably the least useful, but there's a lot of water in this game, and so it's very useful in that regard. I mean, it's like, seriously, almost every single almost every single level in Sonic 3 has a body of water in it. Now this, to get the perfect in this one, you have to make sure to jump over that blue sphere right there to collect these rings. Or else, you'll have collected all the blue spheres, but the rings will still be there, and then this will happen, and you won't be able to collect the rings. I will be showing you how to get it perfect in all of these Chaos Emerald minigames. Oh, one last thing about the bubble shield. Sonic's double jump with it, it bounces him downward. Well, it launches him downward, and then you'll be able to bounce off the ground. And the bounce is higher than your regular jump. So, it's definitely an interesting ability. Of course, you won't be seeing this, because I'm playing as Tails, and he doesn't get the special jumps. And I see this right here. If I had the fire shield from earlier, I would have gone down here, and, well, I would have lost my bubble shield. Alright, so, first instance of an alternate path with Tails. Whoa! Whoa, okay, yeah, that was close. Let's try that again. Alright, once you get high enough, these platforms will start appearing from behind the waterfall. Now you see this bubble shield here, it'll deflect these shots. Very nice little extra life. Whoa! Gee whiz, I just, that swing, not being very cooperative with me. Okay, now this is certainly an interesting thing. Yeah, that's pretty much the only time that the forest being on fire actually does something with that burning rope right there. That guy, the mini-boss from earlier, didn't really change the gameplay at all from what he did. Alright, more of the electric shield. I could use some more electric shield. Honestly, out of the different shields, the electric one is probably my favorite. And the fire shield is probably the least useful. Now, in this first level, it's very useful because there's a lot of fire stuff going on, especially with the mini-boss and the boss that will be coming up against soon. However, that doesn't happen for most of the game, making the fire shield good early on, I guess, but as you go in, it becomes less useful. Very nice. Alright, time for another Chaos Emerald. In here. Alright, already our 4th Chaos Emerald. Now, if there's one that's going to mess me up with a perfect, it's probably going to be this one. This one, it's surprisingly difficult for only being the 4th. Well, I mean, I guess it's the 4th, and now you're halfway through the Chaos Emeralds, so I guess it would be kind of difficult, but even with a couple of the ones that we're going to be going up against here in the next episode, it's fairly difficult, actually. Alright, because the thing about it is that you're pretty much guided along a straight path throughout the entire Chaos Emerald. This blue sphere, I'm going to miss that one on purpose. That is the intent. You'll see why in a minute. Okay, so here. Now you see in the center of this big area, there's this big line of blue spheres, which you can get a ton of rings from. This basically makes this either the highest scoring Chaos Emerald minigame, or the lowest scoring one, depending on if you get these or not. If I had not skipped that blue sphere from earlier, I would not be able to collect these rings. Which, that isn't good. Now, something which I shouldn't have to mention, but I guess I should anyway, just in case somebody hasn't noticed yet. Your movements do get faster the longer you stay in here. I heard from somewhere that it was actually every time you turn, you go faster, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. It's just the longer you stay in there, you'll go faster. That is a lot of points. So yeah, I won't be getting a game over anytime soon, that's for sure. Yeah, already 10 lives. They toss extra lives at you like candy in this game. This is also much more exploration-based, in my opinion. Sonic 1, it was kind of exploration-based. They had some good multiple paths in there. Sonic 2 even more so, with more complex areas. But Sonic 3 really takes the cake for that aspect. Just because your multiple characters, like, you know, you could play as Tails in Sonic 2, but there wasn't any functional difference between the two other than size. And Tails not having a super form. You want to get this fire shield, by the way. Make sure to get that one. But, the fact of the matter is, whether you play as Sonic or Tails, you pretty much get the same game over again. In this game, that's not the case. There are many multiple paths that Tails only can take. Sonic, not so much. Sonic has to take the most default paths, for the most part. They're just... the levels are a lot bigger as well. Whenever we're going from Sonic the Hedgehog to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the levels, they became horizontally larger, it seems, but vertically not so much. They were roughly the same. In this level, everything is bigger. There are cutscenes, the levels are larger, the bosses are bigger, just everything is better. Alright, so this boss is completely broken if you have the fire shield. Which you should have, because they gave you a fire shield in that tree right over there. Yeah, that wasn't a problem at all. Alright, now I want to show you folks a little bit of a glitch. Right about there. Alright. The points tally up. Very good. Okay, so, Knuckles. He comes out here. Keep pressing the jump button. There we go. Now jump on here. And now I'm above the border. Now check it out. And where Knuckles is. There's an invisible barrier here, so you can't, like, just go over here regularly. But, yeah, this is definitely an interesting glitch. Well, anyway, folks, I've been Mr. Game & Pie. Till next time, this has been Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Part 1. I'll see y'all folks later for Hydra City Zone.